What's going on? I'm out here in nature. We're going to talk about zinc today. We're going to talk about a couple interesting factoids about it that hopefully you never knew, because I thought the research was really interesting. So let's check it out. First of all, zinc is completely crucial for your sense of taste and also smell, believe it or not. So a few years ago when we were going through the you-know-what, a lot of people said that they were losing their sensation or their sense of taste. And zinc is highly, highly crucial when it comes to maintaining a sense of taste. So if you noticed that your palate has suffered a little bit lately, then definitely think about taking some zinc. Secondly, zinc plays a really vital role in DNA synthesis. And that's very, very important because we think of DNA almost in abstract terms, but DNA is very, very important. And it's what communicates the messages of either health or illness throughout our body. DNA is basically like one massive, unthinkably complex, well-designed communication system. And so if your DNA integrity, which is also extremely important, starts to become dysfunctional, that can cause things like illness, and something else that we're very familiar with is premature aging. So you know that person that you saw that you graduated high school with, and you're the same age, and they look like they're 25 years older than you? They probably don't have great DNA integrity because they're not taking zinc. Something else is that the body has absolutely no specialized storage system or method to keep zinc in your blood supply. It uses it and then it loses it. So guess what that means? That actually means that in order to optimize your health, you should take zinc multiple times per day. Not only that, but if you're wondering, well, is zinc even necessary? My taste is fine, and I hope my DNA integrity is okay. The fact is that yes, it is absolutely crucial, and the reason why is because zinc is essential. The word essential is just another way of saying that your body cannot produce it on its own. So your body is miraculous at doing a lot of things very, very well, and actually taking the food that you give it, breaking it down into its basic pieces and parts, and then converting that enzymatically into things that your body needs and flourishes from. And I like to think of that as cellular nourishment. And zinc is one of the most important parts of cellular nourishment. Something else is that zinc supplementation and studies has been proven to control blood sugar levels. A lot of people struggle with this. And blood sugar levels, we immediately start to think of diabetes, right? However, it's way more multifaceted than that. It's a little bit more complex because before diabetes can occur, which diabetes itself is a little bit of a misnomer, but I'm just using terminology that we're familiar with. So before that occurs, you can still encounter a lot of different fluctuations in your blood sugar that would make things very, very unhealthy for you. Now, something else, and this is kind of just for the guys in the audience here, is that the zinc doesn't just play a crucial role, but an irreplaceable one when it comes to reproduction. As a matter of fact, if zinc is not present at the time of fertilization, it will not happen. So when I say zinc is essential to life, I literally mean that. Life in and of itself would not exist without zinc. If zinc wasn't present in the, what's a nice way to put this? If zinc wasn't present at the time of fertilization, when your parents conceived you, you wouldn't be here watching this video today because it would be impossible for fertilization to occur. I always think that that's very, very important. There's something called the zinc flash, which has been observed. It's very, very rare, but that zinc flash is a spark of light. And so, the Bible talks a lot about light, and it associates it with life. And so I always thought that was very, very interesting how the Bible, of course, knew what was going on with zinc at the time that life began. And I found that really interesting. Now we're talking about what zinc does, but what about deficiencies? What if you're running too low on zinc? And I don't just mean, you forget to take your zinc one afternoon, but in a chronic ongoing situation, what happens at that point in time? Well, zinc deficiency actually has been directly associated with cognitive decline and dysfunction. That's never ever a good thing, of course. Cognitive decline and dysfunction can happen in an accelerated fashion if not only do you have a deficiency of zinc, but you also have some sort of a heavy metal presence in the body, which is basically a contamination of your blood. And your brain has an amazing system to where it has what's called a blood-brain barrier. And this will keep certain harmful substances from actually passing through to your brain, where it can cause the most harm, as you may imagine. That's the control hub of your body. Zinc, however, is actually able to permeate or cross the blood-brain barrier very, very easily. It's just kind of like it whips out its passport and it's all good to go, and it can go to and fro as it pleases. Now that is really crucial, because what that means is that your brain, which thrives on zinc as like superfood, has the ability to get that zinc with each and every dose that you take. I usually recommend breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. If you want to get a little bit extra strategic about it, you can do it 4 times a day, just equidistantly apart, from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. Just make sure you're getting enough zinc. Something that I've actually had a lot of success with is Think Zinc Plus. So I got my new bottle here. I have several half-finished bottles in my refrigerator because I like the way it tastes when it's cold. It's very refreshing when it's chilled. But Think Zinc Plus has been just a lifesaver, and it's been extremely easy to simply introduce to just my day. I actually look forward to it. Sometimes I have to keep myself from going back to the fridge to get extra doses. But even though we've been talking about zinc in this video, Think Zinc Plus actually has 6 nutrients in one, which is unheard of. And all of those nutrients aren't just there. They're not just showing up to the party, but they're actually engaging directly in your health. And what I mean by that is the dosages that they're in are therapeutically significant. So based on all the clinical research and all of the benchmark studies that we have to look back on and to scrutinize, the dosages of zinc and magnesium, which is huge, and vitamin C, which will scavenge free radicals and help prevent advanced aging and things like that. It's in a very high essential fatty acid oil carrier, which is comprised of MCT oil from organic coconuts, which is going to just nourish your body, help with digestion. And MCT oil has also been found to be super brain food. And so when MCT oil is taken in by your body, you don't need to convert it to anything. It's not like when you eat steak, you need to break that steak down into its basic parts, its chain of amino acids, in order to deliver that to the muscle cells and repair tissue growth and things like that. MCT oil is already in the form that your body can utilize, and that's pretty magical, actually. It's also in black currant berry oil, which is extremely high in GLA, gamma linolenic acid, and those essential fatty acids are very hard to find in the food supply. So if you go to your grocery store and you're buying foods that you even think are high in fatty acids, like a salmon, for example, and you're trying to make the right choices, and you're paying $20 a pound for these salmon fillets, unless they're completely wild caught in the ocean, one thing that you're going to notice is the nutritional profiles are vastly different between industrially farmed salmon and the salmon that is wild caught. And so rather than just being completely vigilant, which you always should be, at checking the labels on things, you could take a product like Think Zinc Plus, and you're going to know that any of those existing nutritional gaps are covered. Now, how do you know you need those things? You do. And that's kind of what we've been talking about here, is that your body needs a certain amount so that you don't get sick and tired and age prematurely and just have a horrible quality of life. But the more that you introduce, and we're talking about micronutrients and minerals here, these are extremely safe. When's the last time you read an article about someone ODing on magnesium? But when you take these in levels that your body can not only utilize to normalize itself, but actually leverage to optimize your health, then that is where that breaking point happens, and there's a pivot in your quality of life, and you can really tell that things start to get amplified and corrected. And at least that's the feedback that I've gotten from other people that are also taking things zinc, and that's 100% my testimonial with the product too. So check it out. I'll leave a link here somewhere in the lower left-hand part of the screen that you can click on if you want to check the company out, check the product out, email the company, do your research, whatever it is, in order to make sure that it satisfies all of the things that you're looking for in a company. But they definitely check all the boxes for me, and I can't wait to see what else they come out with in the future. But for now, this has been amazing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.